Alright guys, here we are once again for another ammo guide. This time we have the Alpha 1, the 7mm PRC. I took this one out because a lot of people were complaining about it, saying it's not performing well at all, so I took a look at it. Alright, so like before, when we get into the numbers and everything like that, I'm using Toothless's cavity damage measurements in liquid fires, energy graphs and stuff like that, but we're not going to look right into like all the spreadsheets and stuff like that. Pretty much I'm just looking at the info and trying to decipher it. And then with, you know, I've taken the rifles out for a spin considerably, and with all that info I'm trying to kind of compact the info for useful information for like the average player. So this sort of thing kind of looks like this here. So that's in the other videos with the 7mm, not the 7mm, no, the 270 and the 308, same sort of thing. We're not, you know, I'm not going to keep on the screen too long, but on the bottom's the 7mm PRC, and it's just how Toothless is measuring the cavity damage, and it's a work in progress, of course, but he's doing a fantastic job there. And then we're going to pull up liquid fires thing here, there, and oh dear, I hit the wrong button again. How'd that get there? That's my 100% spun polyester cover pillow with a concealed zip opening for clean look and easy care. Machine washable. I don't even know how that got there, guys. That always surprises me when that happens. All right, but let me see if I can run my computer correctly here. Oh, there we go. This is the spreadsheet. So it goes like a couple kilometers to the right there. There's all these different numbers. Work in progress. He's filling it out. I think he makes progress every single day. Link will be in the description actually for both of these. Liquid Fire is, I think they're all Google Docs. Toothless has the manual. I think he's going to update it sometimes with the info. And then Liquid Fire there will have, I think he's sharing that. So I'll try and post a link there. Okay, so let's look at the ammo. The 7mm PRC is a very strange one. So I'll do my best here. I'll do my best to sort it out. This one is very strange. The Premier Long Range, they got a little out of order. This Premier Long Range from Remington is actually the free one. All right, so this is the free one. It is a polymer tipped hollow point, and then we have another polymer tipped hollow point, which is the Terminal Ascent by Federal. And then they have this Llewellyn's Firefly, which is their made-up brand, which is a hollow point. Okay, so this is going to be a little tricky to explain. So we're going to start with the cavity damage, like I sort of do in the other ones. The free one here, let me see if I make sure I have the info. Yeah, the long range one is very similar to the Terminal Ascent. So these two are very similar. This one has a smidgen of longer cavity damage, but it doesn't really matter much. And this one peaks in cavity damage a smidgen a little further in. But basically, these two, in terms of cavity damage, is the same. Or very similar, to the point where it doesn't really matter. There's 170 grain here, 175 grain here. So it's gonna be really tricky here to kind of go through these. So this Llewellyn's Firefly 5000, it penetrates farther with cavity damage significantly, and stretches out the cavity damage further. So this one gives you a bit more play area for stretching out the cavity damage between two lungs, for example. So that's just a quick summary of the cavity damage kind of thing. Like I don't have the images. You'll just have to, I'm using the Toothless's chart, which is, you know, little shaded colors and stuff like that, which is awesome, by the way. But these two are very close together with cavity damage to the point where I can't prefer one over the other. They're just too identical in that category. And this one is just a longer cavity cone significantly, and peaks farther and stretches farther, and it's the hollow point, which is kind of strange because these polymer tips in the real world would expand further. Like would start expanding slightly later and expand further and more controlled. But in this case, this made up one, this hollow point one, expands later and expands further. Go figure. This one's going to be weird. Okay, on to energy level here. Man, I don't know how to explain this cartridge here or when to use things here. How am I going to explain this? Between these two, which are basically the same cavity damage, the terminal ascent is a slightly less grains than the premier long range, and therefore is slightly less powerful than the premier long range. Only slightly. Only slightly. And this goes for at any kind of distance. It's so close it doesn't really even matter. Like there's only like 60 joules difference at 100 meters, 40 joule difference at 200 meters, 15 joules of difference at 300 meters between these two. This one's actually more powerful up to 300 meters, and then the premier long range takes over. If I'm yes, I am reading that right. So, but they're so close in the numbers, it doesn't matter. Then this one takes over at 400 meters, and take this, it's 2 joules more at 400 meters. It's only like 30 joules more at 500 meters. So, I mean, out to a kilometer, this is only like 70 joules more than this one. So the cavity damage is close to being identical. The energy difference at all stages is negligible. I have no idea why we have 2 different cartridges that are the exact same here. It makes no difference which one, except this one costs money. This one is slightly stronger under 300 meters. Very slightly stronger. To the point I don't think it matters. But if you want to spend the money, because most shots are done underneath 300 meters, I think in most cases, for most people, you get, here's your extra 60 joules. Or here's your extra 40 joules for the money. So basically, the terminal ascent might win the award for most useless cartridge in the game. Right now, you got me. I don't know. Just use this one because it's free. Okay, that's simple. But it gets stranger because we have the Firefly 5000. This one is the strongest out to 300 meters. Which is fine, I guess. It's, so it's got 130 joules, 140 joules over this one. Like, it's still fairly close. It's only like 100 or so joules more at 100 meters. At 200 meters, it's only 100 joules more than this one. They're very close. At 300 meters, they're basically all hitting the same. They're basically all the same. Like, these are really the same. At 300 meters, it becomes the same. After 300 meters, then I guess you should switch. Well, actually, 400 meters are all about the same, too. I'm looking at the numbers. It's 500 meters. Okay, half a kilometer. Stop using this one. Use this one out to half a kilometer, then switch to this one. There, that's it. That's solved for you. This one out to half a kilometer. This one beyond half a kilometer. This is probably the most useless cartridge in the game because you got these two outperforming it in every category. There's not even a chance to lower the tier because they're all tier 6. There isn't. They're all too close. They're all gonna hit about the same. Man, oh man, I don't know what to say of this one. So that's use this one because the cavity damage is more forgiving. It stretches more into the animal. So you can do quartering shots with this one a lot better than you can do these ones. These ones, you'll lose a lot of the cavity damage in the flesh and bone on a quartering shot. Well, believe it or not, the Firefly 5000 can do a quartering shot better than these two. They both can do broadside just fine. And then same thing with frontal shot. I think you'd use the Firefly in most cases here. So yeah, there you go. So I don't know. Let me know what you think about that. I was like, oh, maybe we should just take a shot with it, but you know, whatever. I have a 4-star Badger out here that I just aged a year. I don't know if he's gonna make it to 5 or not. So I'm more interested in going to get the Badger than using the 7mm PRC here. But why people are having trouble with it is because they're using the polymer tip, because basically logic says use the polymer tip. But the polymer tip cavity damage is not making it to the vital organs all the time, like if you're doing quartering shots. So that's what's causing the problem. It's the cavity damage isn't going in as far as people are used to or thinking. Well, it never really did. It works grand on tier 5 broad shots or broadside shots, basically instant drops. So I would use this rifle for these mule deer on a broadside shot because you're getting massive cavity damage right in that front lung, knocking it right out instantly. So that's where I'd use it, but with tier 6, I don't know if it's got what it takes to drop the animals instantly from a broadside. And then it struggles with quartering shots on like moose and stuff like that, especially bear. At least that's my opinion on it from the numbers and what I've sort of been seeing. I think that's why people are struggling with it. So you'd want to use the hollow point for those cases, but I think most people are loading the polymer tip and running into problems. But if you load the Llewellyn's Firefly 5000, I think it'll start doing better. So I don't know, maybe we'll see something to shoot. I was basically looking for a badger while I look for maybe a mule deer. We'll hit it with this Llewellyn's round, I guess, just to see, because I haven't even used the hollow point that much. I was testing the polymer tips a lot. But that's essentially the reason for the struggle, I believe. Alright, we got some badgers here. So we'll just do a little badger hunt. I got a young female. That's not the right one. Oh, here we go. What do we got? Ah, he's still 4-star. Well, how? I guess he's not going to go 5-star then. If he's been 4-star 2 years in a row. They don't live that long. So I'm assuming he's just stuck there then. Unless he's like... No. Could he be a really super high 5-star? How long? Like, they only lived to like 8 years old or something, right? 10. Well, maybe I'll age him one more time. Well, this video is going to turn into aging the badger. Well, let's go find a mule deer. Or a whitetail. And just kind of smack it with the Llewellyn's here. You know what? I changed my mind. Let's smuck some moose with it. Let's do some quartering shots. Quartering shots, moose. We'll try to do the same distance. Just to demonstrate. We'll do a quartering shot with the Llewellyn's hollow point. On a moose. We'll try. It's kind of difficult to tell them, you know, to quarter away for you. We'll take a look. Looks like the moose. These are my test moose. Doesn't look like they're at the first spot here. So they're going to be over here. Yep, there they are. Got some happy geese in the way. Let's just get over there. I would have zero faith in the 7mm PRC, even though it's supposed to be a long-range rifle. I would have zero faith in it taking those moose out there from this distance. Alright, we'll be testing with a mature cow. 2 mature cows, so that's a problem with trying to identify which one we hit if the shot has failed. But 100 meters, it's going to be a good test. We're just going to watch. We have to watch for a quartering shot here. So this is going to be a good quartering angle here. Oh no, she's turning too much now. Okay, we can switch to this one. Yeah, this one's quartering better. We're going to hit with almost 4,000 joules. No, she's turning. Darn it. It's hard to do commentary before you take a shot. All right, let me wait, and maybe we'll do one of these bull moose instead. Can someone do a quarter? Like, whenever you want them to be broadside, they're not. But now they are here. And these ones are doing their little investigation thing. I just need somebody quartering away, please. Somebody do it. Look at these bozos coming in. Who needs a moose collar? Oh, she's quartering there. Ooh, let's try this. Oh, it's gonna be a farther shot though. That's okay. Ah, she's quartering a bit. Oh no, it's like a 45, right? So we got 150 meters. Wind doesn't matter right now. And no, she's bending. She's like turning this way. Straighten out. Oh, and he's clipping in her. Get out of there. Okay, that was the Llewellyn's. Is she down? I don't think she's down. Like, that's less than 200 meters. On a recording rate. Like, maybe I missed the shot? I don't know. Oh, we got a little blinky zone here. Well, let's check the blood. And, yeah, we'll just see what happens. This is where it gets a little wild. Because I think the 270 and the 308 would have made the shot. Because of the cavity damage. I don't know. That could have been steeper than I thought. Yeah, because she survived, right? Yeah, isn't that crazy? They could have been just a bad shot. So what we'll do is I'll reset them, and then we'll put just a normal one in. And then we'll just hit the other one and just see. We'll just see what happens. And if this next shot fails, we'll have to switch to a real gun. To see what happened. I don't know. Well, maybe the quartering shots with like the 300 wouldn't have worked there, or the 308 or whatever. I don't know. Something tells me like the near 4,000 joules should have worked there. But here they are. I don't know which cow, of course, we hit. There's the other one. We'll go to the 150 again. Up here on this little hill. So a little further than I want, but I need the height. And we'll go on these rocks here. Okay, so it's 150 there. We'll try another quarter. Here's a forward quartering. Let's try this. We'll try and dodge the bone. Energy looks good. Oh. Well, that one dropped her. Oh, God. I don't know. Let's go analyze. Maybe she was the one that was wounded before. Let's try and hit this one just in case this is the one that got wounded. What's the range? 200? You're gonna run again though? Oh, I went for a headshot. Next shot. Out of bullets. I have no idea now. I went for the headshot, which I shouldn't do with that range, but you gotta have a good time sometimes. All right, let's go see what the world's going on here. I was using this in the stream. Hey, you know, might be only my second week playing the game and everything like that, but like I could land shots with the 308, the 270, and have confidence in like everything, like even against moose. And as soon as I'm using this, the confidence is completely gone. It's just, I don't know what it's hitting. Like how that, I don't know. I see the complaints though, because I can place the shots with everything else and make it work. But this one's just kind of inconsistent. Alright, let me see. I'm not just talking about now, I'm talking about like using it on the stream and other people having trouble with it. Okay, so this is the first one. Okay, we don't have to worry, we don't have to track down the other one. So here's the quartering shot. And it's the Llewellyn's. Yeah, so see how the cavity damage doesn't carry in? And it's the Firefly 5000 carries the cavity damage in further than the other ones, or it's supposed to. Well, that's why this shot's kind of failing. Now, I don't know if the tier 5s would have been able to do that either. But yeah, you kind of, yeah, you know what I mean anyways. But you could see that, like, this is why it's the advantageous on a quartering shot to have a cartridge that carries the cavity with it. But the cavity probably getting eaten. It's getting eaten up in the bones and everything too. Uh, it didn't really pin the bone much though. Let's see what the second one was. So that was quartering in. So that one worked fine. Actually, that one worked excellent. Okay, so this is just a lesson in shot placement. You can see that cone spread out. Yeah, so I have to actually think about that now. So this one here, so see how this is carrying in further than the other one and it shouldn't? It's this quartering, this rear quartering shot is something I don't actually quite understand how the game's coming about that one. Because I've done this shot a lot in testing. Because if I go back here, so this isn't going to be an accurate comparison, and this is a good example. I'm showing you why. See how that's like a little short little thing? In this quartering shot, you always get this the cavity damage much shorter than it's supposed to be, and it's getting eaten up by the ribs or something like that. So it's something actually some new science I actually haven't looked into yet. Is if the cone is hitting the bones, is it actually shrinking the cone? I think it is. So in this video right now is I'm just realizing something because I've been doing this shot to practice this kind of shot, and every time I do it, the cone is always much smaller. And the only thing there is this big chunk of cavity. See, originally I thought that it is it's only the bullet penetrating the bone that slows it down and then slows the cavity. But I'm thinking that when cavity interacts with the bone, it's shrinking. And not because it's not really penetrating the bone here. There's like a tiny little sliver. Oh, that's kind of new science. That's a little bit of new science. But I'm not sure what's happening there. But it's not showing correctly. If I did the same shot with the Llewellyn's, you'll just have to take my word for it. Well, take Toothless's word for it, because he did all the measuring. This would actually be expanded in further. But this shot here, this is fine. This is definitely fine. But anyways, that's where the cartridge is both of the polymer tips are kind of expanding and peaking at this point, which is relatively early. If you were to take this shot with like the 308, it would have expanded in and been like a cone this far. But less energy, of course, but the cone would have been like stretched more. And where the peak is, like the peak would have been back here. And then Llewellyn's would have peaked back here as well and would have been more stretched out as well. I mean, do we got time? Maybe we got time. We'll try this similar shot if I can set it up. What is it, 158 meters? We'll just see. So this is quartering in. Let's just take a look. Another observation that I just had that I've never observed before. This guy's coming out to inspect me. He was sitting here, just eating, minding his own business with these other guys. I made no movement. He was about 160 meters out with this other guy. I've just been sitting here. No movement, meaning I'm making no sound. And he can't see me from there. Because we know their vision. But all of a sudden, he turned and looked this way. And I had no movement. Wind's not that direction. I didn't move at all. I was just sitting here watching in the binoculars, and all of a sudden he looked up and looked this way. I'd never seen that before. It always happens when you're moving. So I don't know what triggered the inspection. Isn't that interesting? They can't be moving out, are they? No, it's their drink time. Get back to the water. I've never seen that before. That's puzzled me. I didn't have any interaction with them. And he's just like, oh, I'm gonna look this way. Which is now like got me wondering, Does the inspection even matter on the alert meter at all? Because these guys have no alert meter going. Oh, the science never ends. Anyways, getting off topic. She's a little farther out there. We'll do the shot anyways. Remember, wind doesn't matter these days till they fix it. Well, at this point, they haven't fixed it. And let's see if I can do the same shot. I think that was further back than I wanted to. I'm going to get run over. I don't even know if I've downed her. Oh, yes, I have. Okay. Alright, well, let's go take a look at that one. Okay, so she was hit solid because she didn't actually make it very far. So that's good. The other one already had damage to the lung, and it criticaled out immediately, but it wasn't like a ton of damage, so let's just see. Like, the shot wasn't exactly where I wanted it. It's hard to test by making the same shots. Oh, these are the other ones. Just skimmed her eyeball. And, oh, that was going for an artery. So here's this one. Yeah, too far back. So let's take a look at the cone. It hit some bone. So that's mean. I won't do like the screenshots or anything like that. But yeah, you can't even really see too much difference in the cone between the Llewellyn's Firefly 5000 and this one. I mean, it caught maybe more bone than the other one. But yeah, if you get your little ruler out, little peak thing's supposed to be going in further. Still, that shot would work fine though. But man, yeah, it's kind of the thing. I think this part goes further too, out here. But yeah, the other ones are, I guess, just peeking further. And anyways, that's the numbers, and that's the 7mm PRC. I don't know. The numbers are supposed to support this one. by the measurements that Liquid Fire took and by the graph here. I mean, if this one already had a damaged lung, then it might have dropped too, because it's got tons of cavity in it as well. So, who knows? Anyways, I gotta stop recording. But yeah, there's the 7mm PRC. I don't know. I just, I don't ever feel confident when I'm using it. But I did use it quite a bit. And yeah, I think in one of the streams, I hit a lynx twice with buckshot. And then I hit him twice with this 7mm PRC. And he's fine. He's out there. He's still out there somewhere. I don't know. It's just a weird one. Anyways, that's that guide, I guess. Take care, guys. See you in the next one. Happy hunting.